All right, welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm going to have you all begin by lay down on your back. Set yourself up with any sort of prop that you feel you need, be it a bolster under your knees or a blanket under your head. If when you lay flat on your back, if you need to bend your knees, you can. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees lean against each other. This can change the angle of your hips. But if it feels good to lay flat, just let your legs come down. Okay, with your head, just turn your head a little over to the right, and then come to the middle, turn your head a little over to the left, and then back to the middle, and then just relax your head here. See if you can get to the point where you feel like you're able to fully relax your neck. Okay, now close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath and your breath rhythm. And practice breathing deeply through your nose. Close your mouth, breathe in through the nose, fill the lungs all the way. Exhale out of your nose and let the rib cage just relax. And do it again. And as you breathe in through the nose, try to bring a little bit more air into your body. And as you exhale, release all the air out of your body. And breathe in like your lungs are balloons, fill them to the point they feel like they're being stretched. And as you exhale, relax tension out of the body through the breath. Again, inhale. As you breathe in, breathe with your diaphragm deeply, push your belly up. Exhale, let your belly relax and drop back down. Inhale, breathe in through your nose, push your belly up and expand your lungs. Exhale, release all the air out. Good. Bend both of the knees and bring your feet close to your hips so that they're in the bent position with feet hip width apart. Okay, a few times we're going to rock side to side with the knees. In other words, lean your knees over to the right, bring them up, lean your knees over to the left, bring them up, lean your knees over to the right, bring them up. If you're going a little faster or slower, no problem. Just move at a nice, easy pace, side to side, to begin to manipulate the movement of your lower back and your hips. Just work in a way that it feels good. If at any point you have discomfort, we're going to try to figure a way for you to do it where it's actually comfortable. So usually just backing off the pressure does the trick. Okay, now lean over to the right and hold to the right. A couple of different things you can do with your legs is one, you can just let them rest right where they are. If you want to take the twist deeper, you could lift your left foot and put it on top of your right foot. And if you do that, that's going to bring your left leg a little further over, which might increase the twist in your low back and your hips area. If you want to go even further, you could bring your left foot over into your right hand. You might have to bend your knee to do that, and then you can just relax the leg over to the side. And this raises the hip quite a bit. Now, if it's uncomfortable for your back to go this far, I want you to back up to where we started with the knees bent and just leaning the knees over. Breathe deeply here, in and out through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Let's do the other side. Take your left leg and bring it so that where we started, bring your both knees up and vertical. Now tip your knees over to the left, turn your head to the right, and relax here. Remember, this might be far enough, deep enough for the sensation that posture produces and what you feel in your back and your hips. We just want to move in a way that we gradually start bending the spine deeper and deeper. And we're going to work all of the different ranges of motion: flexion, extension, lateral flexion, rotation. Here, as you turn your head over to the right, just release into your neck. Now, if with your right leg you want to go deeper, again, remember you can lift it and put it on top of the left inner ankle. Or you can reach the foot all the way over and grab it with your left hand. You can extend the leg as much as feels comfortable. What we're doing is putting in stretch over onto the right side hip, which will loosen the abductor muscles of the hip, but also the TFL, the ilio or the iliotibial band, the IT band that goes down the side of your thigh. Just get a nice easy stretch here. Take a few breaths while you're holding. Deep in, full out. Good. Okay, now we're going to return back to the center. Bring your both feet on the floor and bring your both knees up vertical. Now lift one knee, lift the other, lift one foot, lift the other. Grab a hold of your knees with your hands. And now we're just I want you to try to pull down the knees toward the chest and then take the knees away from the chest. The whole time, keep your hands on your kneecaps and just oscillate forward and back a few times. This way, we just went side to side. Here, we're going to do a little flex extend. And as you pull the knees in, there's our deep flex. And the return to neutral is what I mean by extension. Good. And notice that as you work this, feel or observe your lower back. And notice how when your knees go away from your chest, the low back curve increases. And when you pull the knees into the chest, we flatten that curve. We decrease it. Okay, now bring your knees into your body and see if you can wrap around a little deeper on your legs and draw down. Remember, if you do this and your back is uncomfortable, find a level of depth to where it still feels comfortable. And there is an element with stretching where it can feel challenging to stretch. When you pull on tight muscle, it might feel challenging. We want to edge in toward the challenge, but I encourage you to do so in a way that you're fully aware of what you're doing, you're in control of what you're doing, and you can put the brakes on at any point if you need. In other words, putting the brakes on, I mean, you can determine how deep you put the angle of pressure in on your body. Also part of the strategy in nice, easy, gentle, chill yoga is to stay attentive to your breath, to just focus on breathing. The breath is one of the few things we can actively control, present tense, in the moment. You can control your breath. And controlling the breath can have a positive effect on your nervous system. You can choose to breathe a little deeper. You can activate deeper breathing, and then the nervous system will respond. Just gently pull the knees down in towards your body and use your legs as massage pressure tools that will compress your belly and your chest. Okay, and then from here, release your left leg. Keep your right leg where it is. You might need to switch your grip so that you grab your right knee with the interlaced fingers together, and you grab your right knee with your hands about 2 inches below the knee. And now with your left leg down on the floor and your left leg straight, try to pull your right knee in the direction of your right shoulder and put compression of your thigh against your belly. Just release and relax your hip. Soften into your hip. Good job, everybody. You got it. Keep breathing as you hold. And one of the benefits of this side where they're on the right side of your belly is where your ascending colon is. And when we hug the thigh bone down against the colon, it serves as a massage technique. Also, we get the benefit of relaxing the hip joint and stretching into the musculature around your lower back. With your elbows, draw your elbows in a little bit closer toward the body. Tuck your chin down just a little bit down and towards your throat. Elongate the back of the neck and pull your right knee down nice and strong. Okay, now release this, but land your foot on the floor with the knee bent. Take your right foot out a little wider than the right hip. And now lean your right knee downward, inward and downward towards your left thigh. Now it's similar to what we did when we had our both knees bent, but because we're keeping our left leg straight, this kind of holds the pelvis in a different angle. And when you pull your right knee down or simply relax it and you let it fall inward, this is called internal rotation. And we can just gently stretch the right hip. And hold the posture and just continue to breathe. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, easy style. Good. Okay, what we're going to do is change sides. Bring your right leg up and lower it down. Bend your left knee up towards your chest. Interlace your 10 fingers to grab a hold of the knuckles on your back of your hands. And then pull your left knee down towards your left shoulder. Compress the thigh bone against your belly. Relax your left hip. Tuck your chin down towards your throat. Draw your elbows in close to the side body. Breathe in, breathe out through your nose. So as you squeeze the leg into the body, soften your hip. Okay, pull just a little stronger. As we approach the end of the holding pattern, draw the leg down just a little deeper. And release. Take your left foot on the floor a little wider than your left hip. Lean your left knee inward down towards your right knee. Let gravity pull on your leg, but soften the hip, so just relax your hip. Rest your arms wherever they're comfortable. Take a few deep inhalation and exhalation breaths. When you breathe in through the nose, fill the lungs all the way. And breathe out of the nose, just let the air exit the body. Good. Okay, bring your left knee back up and lower your left leg all the way down. Now we're going to roll onto our right side body. So if you bend both of your knees, take your right arm above your head, roll over onto the side body, and practice a side lay position. You can use your right arm like it's a pillow. You can have your knees bent so it's easy to balance. Okay, the next pose we're going to work toward is called child's pose. Place your left hand on the floor so that you can press your body, upper body up. And come around onto your hands and your knees. Because we're going to balance or put pressure on our knees, if you like to set up a blanket or a cushion, place it on your mat. And for child's pose, start off with your knees on the mat, point your feet, the top of the feet on the floor, come down on your forearms, come down on your elbows, bend your knees. You might need to support, you might need to keep your hips above. If you can bend your knees and bring your hips on your heels, try to relax your head down. Now with the arms, it's a good stretch for your shoulders to have your arms above your head, but if your shoulders either A are tight or maybe you're rehabbing a pulled muscle, you might need to bring a bend into your arms and take your arms more down so like your elbows are the width of your shoulders. And or just find right where there's a level of pressure on your shoulder that it is stretching, but it's therapeutic, not too aggravated, just nice and easy. Good, and breathe deeply here in this posture. Again, every inhale breath, send the air into your back. So even though I know you're breathing into your lungs, but that expansion of your lungs it is expanding your back. And as you exhale, just let the body rest down. Okay, now come up on your hands and your knees, and we're going to work with cow and cat pose. Align your hands so they're under your shoulders, align your knees so they're under your hips. Cow pose, raise your chin and lift your gaze up toward the ceiling and breathe in through your nose. And cat pose, tuck your chin, round your spine. Good. Inhale, breathe. Cow pose, lift your chin, roll the eyes up. Cat pose, drop your head, round your spine. Inhale, breathe. Cow pose, lift your chin, roll your eyes, look up. Exhale, cat pose, lean on your hands, push down, deep round. Inhale, cow pose, lift your chin, roll your eyes up. Exhale, cat pose, drop your head and round. Good. Take your right foot on the mat, forward in between your hands. If you need blocks, you can put blocks on the floor. Put your hands on the blocks. That will make it possible for you to lean a little bit of weight on your hands if it's difficult to get your chest onto your thighs or on your thigh. If you get your chest on your thigh, make sure your right foot is far enough forward so that when you lean forward into the bend, you stretch your hip nice and deep. Good. Excellent. Hold here as you lean the pressure into your leg. Feel the front of your left hip elongate, loosen, lengthen. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good. Continue. Okay, now shift the weight back onto your left knee. Take your right foot, crawl it forward a little more. Try to straighten your right leg. I know this can be challenging to be able to touch the floor. That's where having your hands on blocks might make it a little easier for you to be able to get your right leg straight and sustain your balance. Now, if there's some range, fold your head downward towards your right knee. Just take your time stretching into your hamstrings on the right leg. Good, Carol. Good, Dan, you got it. Open up those hamstrings on the right leg. Just drop your head down a little tiny bit more. Okay, good. Raise your head up. Slide the right leg back. Take your right leg back so you're on your hands and your knees. Let's do a cow and a cat in between. Cow pose, inhale, lift your chin, look up. Cat pose, tuck your chin, round your spine. Good. Okay, left foot forward, bring it onto the mat. Bring your foot far enough forward that when you lunge, your left heel will stay down on the floor. Use the blocks with your hands on blocks if you need. And lunge as far forward as possible. Keep your right knee on the ground. Good, Carolyn. Stretch into your right hip. Breathe in and out as you're holding. Through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Okay, take the weight back so you're on your right knee. Inch your left foot a little more forward. Again, take the weight back onto your right knee and see if you can extend your left leg, straightening the knee. If there's some range, fold your head down towards your leg. Go a lot deeper into on your hamstrings, your left side. Lean that pressure over into your left side. Good. Get a nice big calf stretch, hamstring stretch. And release. Lean the weight a little forward so you get the foot back. Come onto your hands and knees. Now we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. Move the blocks over to one side or the other. So you have plenty of room to come all the way down. Good. Now with your hands, use either pillow style where you put one hand on top of the other and your forehead right on top of your hand, or open your hands out and turn your head over to the right and relax your left cheekbone down. Practice. Hold and breathe here in and out a few times. Just relax your jaw and your neck. Good. Now raise your head, lightly touch your chin. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Now, the thing that we can all do, whether we have our feet together or our feet a little bit apart, is that we can all straighten our legs out. When you have your feet pointing, typically when you tighten your quads, you won't feel your kneecaps on the ground. First, go ahead and soften your quads, feel your kneecaps on the ground. Next, try to squeeze your quads, see if your kneecaps come off the ground. That's good. Try to hold the kneecaps off of the ground. Your feet are still touching, it's just that your legs are squeezing. And lift your chin and your chest off the floor. Good. Excellent. Squeeze your legs. Try Kira with your elbows. Pull your elbows inward. There we go. Awesome. That's good. Good, Marie. Excellent, Christine. Feel how those muscles on your back, they're real firm, real tight, real strong. Engage them, build some strength, and then slowly release down. And turn either your head to the left or drop or relax your forehead on your hand pillow. And breathe a few times here. And now when you relax the legs, often when you tighten your muscles in your legs like that, as strong as we did, and then you release, you'll feel some, either A, a sense of relief, or B, sometimes it almost feels like there's a temperature difference. When the blood rushes back into the legs, it might feel like a little warm, or you can feel the circulation moving into the body. That's great. That's what we're trying to do. Each pose, we squeeze the muscles, and then when here in the relaxation, we relax everything. And this process of contract and relax is how we improve or increase the circulatory movement through the body. All right, so now we're going to transition. So if you take your hands under your shoulders and you lift your chin, you lift your chest, and you peel yourself up, kind of like we did in Cobra, you can come into the up dog and pull your hips back. Try to come again to the child's pose. Bring your hips towards your heels, bring your forehead down to the floor, get a nice deep stretch for your back. Lift your head a little bit, take your arms, bring them over to the right side of your yoga mat, and then drop your head down again and emphasize loosening and stretching the left side of your body. All the way from the left hip, this is called lateral flexion. And so we're just stretching the left side. You have backbones. Your backbones are called vertebra. Your vertebra have what are called transverse processes. They're the little like wingtips on either side of your backbone. And when we bend to the side like this increases the space on the left side between those transverse processes. And so that's where all your nerves innervate. And so we're just kind of opening the space on the left side, just expanding. And if there's pressure, we're trying to relieve some pressure. But because everybody is so unique and different, what will relieve pressure for me might add pressure for you. So if I give you a suggestion, please listen to your body and trust and move it in a way that does feel good. Let's go to the other side. Lift your head up. Take your hand off to the left, hands off to the left side. Relax your head down and now expand where the nerves innervate between the backbones over here on the right side. Try to expand this area open, bringing a stretch into all those little interspinal muscles. And as you breathe, feel the right side, the rib cage open. As you exhale, feel it just kind of close a little. Okay, raise your head. We're going to come back to the middle. Let's try down dog. Now in gentle yoga, down dog can be done just holding on your hands and knees. It really depends on how your hands, wrists, shoulders are feeling. If you like down dog, what you do is you push down against your hands and feet. You raise your hips, and then think, I want to bring my head down through my arms. And to do that, you try to press your heels down toward the floor and stretch and strengthen your shoulders in this press. Walk your feet toward the top of your mat. Land your feet approximately hip-width apart. Come all the way up to a standing position with your feet hip-width apart. And now take your arms above your head and bring your hands shoulder-width apart. Reach up as high as you can. The name of this one is called Urdhva Astasana, and Urdhva means up and Asta means hands, so like upward hand stretching position. Makes sense. All right, go ahead. Now we're going to come down. Put your hands on your knees. One option is to rest with bent knees, hands on knees. The next option is to come down with your elbows on your thighs. The next option is to come down with your hands on the floor. The next option is to press your knees all the way back. And the last one is to let your body hang where you're letting the full weight of the upper body stretch your hamstring muscles on the back of your legs by letting gravity pull down on you. And we just maintain the position. All we have to do is just keep our balance. Keep your eyes open so that balance is easy. And find where your level of depth feels like it's appropriate. As you breathe in and out through your nose, maintain the rhythm of the breath. Easy in, easy out. Good. And then we're slowly going to come back up. Bend your knees, bring your body all the way up. And then once again, take your arms above your head and reach as high as you can for the ceiling. Okay, now take your right hand, grab your left wrist. Reach over to the right side and push your hips to the left. Stretch your left side. Good. Come up. Reverse your grip. Stretch over to the other side. Opening the right side of your body. Come back to the middle. Release your hands, bring them down. Place your hands onto your waist. And then try to pull your elbows back. And then use your hands on your waist or your lower back. Push your hips a little bit forward. And relax your neck and let your head drop back. And backward bend. Come back to the middle. Bend your knees, put your hands on your knees again. Try once again, bring your elbows on your thighs. Bring your hands to the floor if you can. And press your knees back. Fold as far as you're able, and if you can't, grab your ankles. Pull on your ankles and stretch your hamstrings. Good. Raise your head a little bit. Bend your knees, slowly come back up. Now take your arms forward with your elbows locked out so your arms are straight, hands shoulder width apart. Chair pose, bend into your knees. Sink into the imaginary chair, reach your arms forward as you lower down into the knee bend, strengthen the thighs, and press and come all the way up. Good, let your arms come back down. Everybody turn and face toward the side of the room and step your feet apart and reach your arms apart. Turn on your right toes so your right foot turns toward the back of your mat. Bend your right knee and either bring your right hand or your right elbow down onto your thigh. With your left arm, either stretch straight above or continue the arc above the head, expanding your shoulder and your left side body. Make sure you feel balanced. If you look down at the floor, sometimes that will make it a little easier. The more challenging focal point is to look up at the left hand. Just make sure that doesn't throw you off your balance. Okay, we're going to change sides. Lead with the left arm, press into your right leg and come all the way up. Turn your right foot in and turn your left foot out. Bend your left knee, either bring your hand on your knee or your elbow down on your thigh. And with your right arm, reach straight up and or all the way above your head. Remember, if balance feels a little wobbly, look down at the floor, this will help. And if you want to challenge that, look towards your right hand. If you can align or stack your right shoulder above your left shoulder a little more, we'll open up the chest to the side. Lead with your right arm, come all the way up, press into your left leg. Good. Now put your both hands onto your hips. Turn your left toes so they're toward the side wall. Turn your right toes so they're toward the back of the room. Square your hips. Bend your right knee a little bit. Put your both hands on your right knee. See if you can bring your left hand down onto the floor. If you need the block there, you can put the blocks on the floor. And you can put your right hand down on the other side of your right foot. If you can get your hands onto the floor or onto the blocks, drop your head down towards your right knee. And now slowly press your right knee back. Let's see how far. Good, Christine. See how far you can go into the stretch of the hamstring muscles on the back of the right leg. Give a good, strong press to straighten the leg all the way. And then we're going to slowly return back up to where we started. Place your right hand on your right knee, take your left hand on your right knee, press all the way up, bring your hands onto your hips, turn your right toes toward the side, turn your left toes toward the front, bend your left knee a little bit. Put both hands onto your knee, try bring your right hand down, try bring your left hand down, drop your head down, push your left knee back, continue to balance, stretch into your left leg. Moving nice and slow, with control. Feel the breath. Keep your eyes open. Feel the balance. Open your hamstring a little bit more. Good. We're going to come back up. Place your hand on your knee or the hand on your knee, come all the way up. Good. Put your both hands on your hips and turn so your both feet are parallel to each other, facing the side wall. Wide foot stretching pose. Inhale, breathe, open the chest. And now to come down. One way to do is to rest our hands on our knees. The next option is to bring the elbows to the knees. The third would be to touch down the hands on the floor. Again, if you want to put the blocks under your hands, if that gives you something to rest on, you can use blocks. And then slowly try to push your knees back. If you're at the point where you're able to touch down with straight knees, fold at your hips and bring your head as close to the floor as it'll go. Good. Just hold the pressure And the stretch of the hips, and the stretch on the back of the legs and inner thighs. Just let the body hang. Breathe in and out. Hold nice and steady. As you come back up, we're going to go slow. Raise your head half lift and just bend your knees a little bit. See if you can bring your elbows up on your knees, your hands up on your knees. Come all the way up. Then rejoin your feet back together and return to facing forward. Good. Let's try balance today with the standing wind removing pose, which is put your both hands on your hips and bend your right knee just a little bit. That's all you got to do to start. Now, pick what point you're going to focus on while you balance. So once you pick a point, try it. If you need to shift it, you can. But once you find a good spot, lock in on it. Okay, just see if you can get airborne with your right foot. Some of you might be able to bend the knee up and grab a hold of the knee. And like the pose we did earlier, called wind removing pose, we practice it while we're standing, drawing the knee up. But in the beginning, the first thing is to be able to balance to get to the point where we can even grab a hold of the knee. So the idea is just to go really slow, to hold the balance, hold the focus, and if we start to lose it, the floor is so close, we just put the foot back down, and this way we're really working the strength of your left leg. Probably at this point, your left leg is already starting to say, enough already. Hang in there with it just a little bit longer. Don't give up. Stay with it. And now, enough already. Lower it down. Good. All right, let's try the other side. Put all of the weight on your right leg. Bend your left knee and just have the ball of the foot in contact with the floor. See if you can first just get to a place of stability, holding right here. If you can lift your left leg in the air. Now, the nice thing about catching the knee is your arms can do some of the work. It's hard to hold the leg in the air without the help of the arms. So if you are able to grab the knee, you could pull the knee up toward the chest or shoulder. However, in the beginning, the first thing we got to get good at is holding the weight on the one leg without falling. And working like this is really key for making sure we don't fall when we're doing basic tasks, walking up and down stairs, getting out of the car, moving quickly from one point to the other if we have to. This is really important work to practice on the daily. All right, let's lower it down, left leg to the floor. Now come up to the top of your mat. We're going to transition through a Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So that with an inhale breath, you just take your arms and sweep them up above your head and look upward. And as you exhale, just come down and bring your hands to the floor. Let your knees bend and stretch the back of your legs. And on your inhale breath, lift your chin and look forward. And then we're just going to come down on our hands and our knees. And you can do the cow and cat. As you do that like up dog, you can come all the way down. Inhale, cow pose or up dog, where you drop your hips down. Exhale, cat pose or down dog. Press into the hands. Good. All right, come on down into your seated position and bring both of your legs together in front of you. Great. Excellent. All right. So once you get your legs down, or once you get seated and you have your legs in front of you, first, let's see how far along the shins can you walk your hands towards your feet. Once you get to the point where your hamstrings and or back and or both say that's enough, then just relax your head a little bit forward, just a little bit down and forward. Just take the stretch into the back of the neck and allow the whole back body to stretch. That's it. Good, Susan. Excellent. All right, you got it, everybody. So we're just going to stay here for a moment so that we give ample time for the muscles to release, lengthen, and surrender. Breathe through the nose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do one more together. Inhale, exhale. Good. Okay, bring your body up. Take your right knee, bend it, and bring your right heel in close to the body. Good. If you need a prop under the knee, such as a blanket or a block, you can always support under the leg or knee. Because ideally what we can do is just relax the leg against something. If your leg is in the air and you relax and you have knee pain, that's why putting a little something under will give you support. Okay, now reach forward for your left ankle or foot, maybe the shin. You can also use a strap around the foot if you like. Inhale and exhale. Fold over your left leg. Aim to bring your head down towards your knee. Stretch into the back side of the body. Breathe, inhale, exhale. Good. Open and release your right hip. Open and release, relax your lower back. Each exhale, come down a little deeper. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the nose. Good. Feel the stretch in the back of the left leg. Feel the pressure that you're putting right there. Just hold it. Allow the hips to release and open. Feel like the leg is getting just a little bit more relaxed on the posterior side, on the back side. Just by simply holding, put some pressure. And then we're going to gently come back up and release. Good. Now, take your right hand onto your left knee. And we're going to roll, we're going to twist over to the right. Put your left hand onto your right knee. Put your right hand on the floor behind you. And just gently traction your right shoulder back. Whenever you twist, it can be a good idea to squeeze the belly. To bring, it's kind of like you're drawing what is happening when you squeeze your belly, when you're engaging your abdominal muscles, which is sealing the abdominal contents, the internal organs. And then while you bring that sort of support system into the front body, then you start to twist and rotate the spine. And just take a nice deep twist. Take it to your edge. Good. And then unwind the position. And bring your right leg forward. Good. And bend your left knee. Bring your heel in and drop your knee down. And remember, if you need to use something under the knee, it is always an option. You can use props. If you need a strap around the foot to give you some leverage to pull on. Otherwise, just grab your shin and fold. The nice thing about the strap on the foot is that when you pull, it activates the dorsiflex of your ankle. The opposite of dorsiflex is plantar flex, that's pointing the foot. In this pose, because we're aiming to stretch the lines on the back of the leg, when your calf muscle, this might be very obvious, but I figured I'll point it out, your calf muscle comes down to your Achilles tendon and attaches right on your calcaneus, which is your heel. So when you dorsiflex, your heel goes further away. So that whole line, you can probably feel it, is opening. Now the next section is from your knee, and your hamstring muscles cross both the knee joint and they cross the hip joint. So the hamstrings they're responsible for doing knee flexion and also hip extension. So when we come forward, we're going to work the line all the way from what's called the ischial tuberosity, which is the base of the pelvis, all the way down to the heel. Try to get that whole line activated. And so having the foot pulling back helps this. So try to keep your attention on feeling your ankle and actively pressing through the heel forward as you expand your body down over your leg. Breathe in and out as you hold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Okay, slowly come back up. And to twist, put your right hand over on your left knee. Put your left hand on the floor behind you and draw the belly in. Contain the internal organs and then draw the left shoulder back. Excellent. Very good. Nice, everybody. You got it. This is it. Just hold it. Keep breathing. Feel your body. Feel which way you're turning your body, which way you're moving your body. You're in control. You're doing this on purpose. This isn't a haphazard movement. This is a coordinated choreography. Draw your left shoulder back. It's important to be aware this is you doing this. This is all you. Good. Draw your left shoulder, feel it. And that way you can steer it. If it hurts, back off. If it feels good, try a little deeper. Experiment. Good. All right. Let it go and release. Now I'm going to give you two options for the next pose. It's pigeon. So pigeon is where we have our right leg folded in front. We fold over the right leg. But another way you can go is you bend your knees, you cross your right leg on top of your left, and you thread the needle. Threading the needle just implies your right arm is going through the eye of the needle, which is that little gap there. And you reach through and you grab your left knee and you draw your leg down. And this way, we have options for method to opening the hips, or hip in this case, right side. Great job. So once you determine which way you're going to go, target stretching your right hip and continue to breathe in and out. Breathe through your nose. Now, everyone here was able to walk through the door. And those of you joining in online, your situation might be unique. Yet here, typically the motion of walking, standing, your hips have to tighten. They have to, activate, contract. So they get tense sometimes. That's why some of these yoga poses, a lot of them are designed to do some hip opening, to release some of this pressure. Also, if you're exercising strongly, like walking, biking, stair climbing, whatever it is you like to do, walking the dog. Again, it's important to practice mobility and loosening up because we'll tighten from strong activity. So this can serve as a wonderful cross-training tool. Yoga is a great exercise, and we're doing just very gentle. In terms of exercise, cardiovascularly, we're just going really slow. So, in this style of practice, we're not really trying to rev the heart so much. We're going slow and steady so we can go really deep in on the joint structure. And so just try to ease in on your right side hip. And then we're going to change sides. So if you're on your back, you just uncross and recross. If you're on your front, bring your left leg into the pigeon style position. And work on the rotation. Now, when we were doing the first pose we did seated after the ones with the legs together, when we bent our right knee and pulled our foot in and dropped the knee down, that is an external rotation pose. This also is an external rotation pose. So we're in the same vein, yet this one we start pressing on it a little bit deeper by putting the foot, if you're laying on your back, by putting the foot on the thigh. Deepens into a position which we call half lotus. So the thread the needle really is a half lotus position. The pigeon posture, the pigeon prep here where I'm laying down is also same thing, strong. It's kind of like the half lotus shape that we make with the leg. Just try to target loosening the hip. Good. Okay, and then we're going to release. Let's all come back to a seated position. And now that we did some hip opening work, let's see how we are sitting cross legs. Now to be able to sit cross legs, you might need to put a prop under your hips. Anything will do. A blanket, a block, a bolster, a pillow, a shoebox. That obviously won't crumple, box, anything that works. All right, that lifts you up. Good, and part of the idea is to try to sit so that your spine is straight. Now see if you can hold your knees with your hands on your knees and just do a little bit of cat-cow motion. The cat-cow motion is where we oscillate between rounding the spine, which is cat, and then we extend the spine, which is cow. Just see if you have the ability. This is something that you can do if you're working at a desk. You can be seated in a chair and you can do some really gentle cat-cow motion. And it's like you just take a short little break. Sometimes sitting at a desk or sitting working on the computer or whatever it is, where maybe you like to hand write, whatever it is. Moving, just moving the spine. So when you feel your back tense up or you feel your shoulders get really tight and sore, just utilize some of these simple yoga stretching exercises to help to alleviate. Okay, good. Now try to land in the middle so that let your eyes close a moment. Try to feel, are you vertical? Are you able to sit in a point where you're balanced right in the middle? Okay, great job. Let's try a twist from here. Put your left hand on your right knee. Put your right hand on the floor behind you. Now think, I'm going to twist on the axis that I just created. So that vertical line that you created, just make a nice easy rotational motion over to the right. I'm going to face the same way you are, so the right and left parts will be easy. Good. Okay, come back to the middle. Take your right hand to your left knee. Easy twist to the left. Good. Come back to the middle. Put your right hand on the floor and raise your left arm up. Stretch over to the right. If you like, you can come down on your right elbow. If that's a bit much, you can keep your hand on the floor. Just try to stretch your left arm over toward the right. Good. Come back, put your left hand on the floor, take your right arm up. Stretch over toward the left. If you like to come down the elbow. Stretch as far as you can. Good. Come back to the middle. Now with your cross-leg position, fold as far forward as you can. Relax into the hips. Relax your head down. Doesn't matter how far you go, you can do with your hands on the knees and gently lean forward. Keep breathing. Good. Slowly bring your body up. Okay, recline onto your back into the resting position. Take your legs forward. Head on floor. Arms rest. Good. Okay, now bend both of your knees. Take your right leg and cross it over your left, but now cross it so that the back of your right knee comes close to the top or front of your left thigh. Take your arms out to either side of the body and lean your knees over to the right. This provides or places a lot of extra pressure onto the left leg, so you're probably able to feel that stretch motion in your left hip on the side of your thigh. Practice, relax, and hold. Good. Okay, bring your knees up. Take your right leg off of your left. Take your left leg, cross it over your right. Lean your knees to the left and turn your head toward the right. That's good. Good, Susan. See if you can handle pressure, and if it gets extreme, you know the solution. Just don't go so far. Bring it back up and just find a level of pressure and lean that feels productive. Breathe nice and deep. In through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, bring your both knees back up. Uncross your left leg off of your right. Lift your both feet off the floor. Grab your knees, pull your knees towards your body. Now just put one calf in front of the other shin like you're sitting cross-legged, and see if your hands can grab your feet. Now it's kind of like you're tying a knot. Gently pull down on your feet and to stretch your hips and your low back. So basically it's like where we were before, sitting cross legs and folding forward. Now we're laying down, but we're cross legs, pulling the cross legs into the front body. And one leg is in front. So what I want you to do is release and put the opposite leg on front. Grab the feet, pull down. Relax your back, relax your hips. Give a good strong squeeze, pull. And we're going to release and let go and come all the way down into our final resting position. Let your legs straighten one at a time. Let your arms relax, palms face up. Move the neck a little if you need to find a comfortable position for your head. And once you feel like you're right in the middle and nice, easy style neck positioning, just let the neck relax. Close your eyes and just breathe through your nose. Deep breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Good. And now go from controlled breathing, aka pranayama, to natural breathing. Try to now take a step back in relation to observing your breath and just let the breath go into natural mode. And as you relax in the Shavasana position, take your awareness and attention down to the feet and relax your feet completely. And so when you feel like your feet, they have nothing to do, they're so relaxed, you can maybe even feel a little tingling in the feet or a little circulation, movement. Just now relax all the feet, the toes, the balls of the feet, the arches, the soles of the feet, tops of the feet, into the heels, into your ankles. Relax your ankles, relax your shins, relax your calves, relax your kneecaps, front of the knees, sides of the knees, back of the knees, your thigh muscles, front of the thighs, back of the thighs, inside thighs, outside thighs, hips on the front of the hips, sides of the hips, the back of the hips, your lower back, your abdomen, your middle back, your chest, your upper back, your heart, the top of your back, your shoulders, your arms, the front, the back, the sides, the elbows, the forearms, the front, the back, the sides, the wrists, the palms to the front, the back of the hands on the floor, the fingertips are curled ever so slightly. Feel your throat, feel your neck, relax your throat, relax your face, all the muscles in the face, all the expression that you use, just let it go blank for a moment, nice and easy, no expression, expressionless, nice and calm. forehead, top of your head, all the way through, the whole thing, all of it. Nice. You're welcome to hold and take your time here as long as you would like. Have a wonderful day today, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.